How we doing, folks? welcome back. My name is Jeff Hoagland, as you may or may not be aware, and this is another one of my YouTube exclusive videos here. I'm going to be doing these 4 to 6 times a week, with the goal being having new Magic content posted here on my channel every single day. So, in addition to the stream archives that I've been doing for years now, I'm going to be doing some of these. So when you submit decks through to the donation queue, you can check on there if you'd prefer your deck to be played live, or if you don't care, if you prefer it to be played offline, so you can be a little bit more focused and less distracted by chat while I play it. If you're someone who already has a deck waiting in my deck queue, feel free to drop me a message in private if you'd like to change the preference. By default, I put all the decks that were already in there to prefer to be played live, since that was the only option when people submitted them. But if you'd like your deck to be played offline, or if you don't mind, so potentially gets played a little bit sooner, let me know. And anywho, to dive into our topic of the moment here, we have, this is a build around deck list. So for people who are not familiar with what I do, for $50+ donations, I will take your core idea or specific card that you would like to see played and try and work it into what I think could potentially be one of the best ways to approach building it in a given format. The build around card for this deck list that we have here was Dragonlord Ojutai. So 5 mana is a little bit expensive in Modern as far as closers go, but this is a pretty powerful closer. It's a closer that insulates itself against removal spells the turn you play it. And then, in addition to dealing damage in chunks of 5, it also provides card advantage while we do that to let us get further and further ahead with it. So what I've done here is just, anybody who's played a lot of Modern, is the best way to approach building fair decks in Modern is you just need to load up on the 1 mana discard. The most efficient way your interactive deck can keep up in a format that's as brutal as Modern is by playing cards like Inquisition and Thoughtseize. That's what I've got a bunch of here. One thing that I'd like to comment on, because it's something I've taken kind of a hard stance on in the past, is you'll notice that I have 4 copies of Fatal Push in my main deck and 3 copies of Path to Exile in the board. In the past, I've always said I prefer to play, the 4th Path before even the first Fatal Push, and the reason why it's different in this deck is if you look at this deck list, this is basically a blue-black deck with a small white splash to support Lingering Souls, Detention Sphere, and then Dragonlord Ojutai on 5. So the reason why I'm favoring Fatal Push in this specific deck list rather than Path to Exile is because we have a lot more black sources in our mana to enable casting black spells, as well as Inquisition and Thoughtseize on 1, than I do white mana. So I'm just going to be able to consistently cast Fatal Push early more often than I can consistently cast Path to Exile early. That being said, Path is still a great card, so in matches where Path is great, or I just want more spot removal in general, I do have the paths in the sideboard. In addition to the Ojutai plan, I've also got 4 copies of Thought Scour here that pair reasonable with Snapcaster Mage and Search for Azcanta, but they also allow us to put Tasigur into play very quickly, which is appealing. Modern's this format where you want to be able to close games out, so between Ojutai and Tasigur, hopefully they're going to be able to do that with some consistency. You'll note here, and this might be cheeky, but my sweeper of choice here is Ritual of Soot, because this is a sweeper that's basically Plague Twin in this deck. It doesn't kill our Dragonlord Ojutai, it doesn't kill our Tasigur. So it does kill our Lingering Souls tokens and our Snapcaster Mages, but I think the idea of having the sweeper that doesn't kill our most powerful card seems really appealing, so I'm interested to see how that goes. Sideboard, just like a smattering of counter spells, and then a couple of extra threats here in Vendilion Clique and Geist Traft for the matches where we really need to apply pressure, like, for instance, Control Mirrors, or against combo decks where we need to be able to close the game out, and just having 5 pieces of top-end threats are probably not enough. At any rate, let's dive into our first match here and see how it goes. One thing that I would like to mention before we dive in here, and I'm sure I'm about to play into Dredge as I say this, is that this deck probably has an unwinnable Dredge matchup. These fair, interactive, mid-range, and control decks just don't have the pressure or efficient disruption to keep up with that archetype, and I don't think it's worth playing 4 Surgical Extractions or 4 Leyline of the Voids to try and make it salvageable. I think you're just supposed to punt the matchup and just, hope to win your other ones. It's going to be such a hard matchup game 1 that, you're just, even if you had 8 cards in your sideboard, you're probably going to be barely 50% in the entire set, devoting too many slots to it. That seemed is fine. It doesn't have any cheap interaction in it, but these Thought Scours could technically be anything, right? They're wild cards, they're going to replace themselves, and the fact that if I hit a 3rd land, these Thought Scours could potentially they technically have 3 looks at discard spells to snap a discard spell back on 3. See how this goes. Detention Sphere and Lily on the last hope, just like not slouches either. There's a lot of matchups for this card. It's just aces. Yep. Wow, I lost both Thought Scours there. That's brutal. All right, we hit the white source. Hitting the white source is incredibly good for us here. Means I'm gonna get to play the Detention Sphere on 3, which is nice. Only take 1 hit from this. If they discarded Gurmag Angler here. If they have another Delve threat, we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. So we're hoping that this is their only main form of pressure here. The fact that they went to combat already likely implies that they don't have a discard spell. Because they had, like, Faithless Looting, they would do that pre-combat to give themselves the best possible chance to hit something like, say, Flamewake Phoenix. Looks like they do have Gurmag Angle here, unfortunately. That's gonna put us a little bit under the gun here. This is one of the matchups for Path to Exile is much, much better than Fatal Push, obviously. I get to do this and exile this. I'm going to 11 next turn. Yep. We have 2 of these. Woof. Alright, so I'm definitely killing this. And I think draining them. The question is, do I want to look for a spell to take away as well? I think so. Nah, that can't be the case. Yeah, I'm just going to kill this and drain them. And then I think I'm actually going to bin the last hope here. I might just flash in the Snapcaster Mage as a gain 3. Or a gain 4, sorry. Yeah. Feels bad, man. Double Bloodcast. Alright, we're done. We donezo. Collective Brutality's pretty bad here. Path to Exile's great. This is a place where our Ritual of Soot are also just kind of too cute. I don't have a lot of fantastic ones here. This is definitely the answers that I have. And this is, again, just one of the problems with playing interactive decks in Modern. It's just like, the answers I have chosen, like, just don't happen to line up particularly well in this matchup. I'm not sure. Oh, I want this Detention Sphere in my deck. Whoops. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. There should definitely be a second Detention Sphere in my deck. Probably over one of the Rituals of Soot. Maybe there's an argument that, like, this one of Stroke is, like, better than the other Soot as well. So it's, like, pretty mediocre in this matchup. Like, cleans out their Flameblight Adepts and their recurring creatures. But, like, the recurring creatures just come back, right? How many Hallowed ones are coming to town? Do 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 do. Yay, Modern! Yay, Magic! Sadness goes on the stack. Sadness resolves. But remember, chat, I can't cast a Stoneforge Mystic. At least I have this D-Sphere, I guess. I guess we shouldn't complain too much, right? Like, I only have to take 1 hit from these. That is until I cast Burning Inquiry next turn. They binned a Gurmag Angler on the Faithless Looting, so I assume they have another Gurmag Angler here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Delve threat. Fatal Push looking much worse than Path yet again. So, I think I'm actually casting Snapcaster Mage as a gain 5 here. Like, I'm definitely going to lose this game with cards in my hand if I die, so I just want to, like, get my stuff into play. So I'm just going to go ahead and cast this. That way I can Detention Sphere these hollowed ones, then get to blocking. It's a shame they had 2 hollowed ones this game, because, like, I have Tasigur, so, like, if I could just, like, Detention Sphere this. If I could Detention Sphere this and, like, have Tasigur to block these, that would be, like, really good for me. But, unfortunately, I think I just need to clean these up. I guess that's, like, actually not terrible for me. Because, like, this gives me enough mana to, like, play Lingering Souls and cast Tasigur this turn. I have another Gurmag Angler. Woof. They are down to 1 card, however, so that's nice. Not a huge difference between 4 and 5. Still not in Lightning Bolt range. Still dead to Gurmag Angler either way. The biggest difference is that going to 5 means that what's the word I'm searching for? Or going to 4 means that a hollowed one is lethal on its own, but I already have 2 hollowed ones under Detention Sphere, so it's not really relevant. Resolves. So if they attack here, we double block and then we chump. All right, we're at 4 here, so, like, just looking for like an Ojutai or a Path to Exile, some way to take one of these fish off the table. Ideally, I'm not going to. Wow, did they order the? Oh, they have a Lightning Bolt. Their last card is Bolt. Of course it is. All right, I deserve that. I deserve that. I was cheeky with my removal spells, chat. And also, like, I forgot to board in the Detention Sphere, right? Like, could you imagine if this was a Detention Sphere? And, like, now, obviously, there's 2 Ritual of Soots, and, like, it could be the one that wouldn't have been the Detention Sphere, but, like, this could have been a D-Sphere, it could have been a Damnation, it could have been a lot of things, basically. And instead, it's Ritual of Soot. So, here we are. This is my bed. I'm gonna lie down in it. Yep. Need to draw a live one here. Snapcaster would be great. Well, onward, upward, backward, forward. Onward, upward, backward, forwards. Yeah, maybe this card's just too cheeky. I should just be playing Damnation. I don't know. So many of the decks in Modern that you want sweepers against are just, like, small creature decks. It seems like the upside of, like, not killing my own thing seems like a pretty high one. Obviously, that matchup there that we just played was, like, maximum punishment for having that as my sweeper of choice. Seems like not amazing, but it's fine. Gets Thoughtseize into Last Hope, into Eventual Ojutai. So my opponent is playing Enduring Ideal, it looks like. For those not familiar, it is an enchantment prison deck, basically. It's a good draw. In. Would like your Serum Visions, please. Oh, they drew Path. Huh. Yeah, I guess I take that one. Need to be able to have threats stick to win the game, most likely. Tassafish isn't a bad draw here. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick that. Grab Hallowed Fountain here, so that way it doesn't matter whether I draw a white or a blue source, I'll be able to cast Ojutai on 5. This will probably be a matchup where we bring in Geist to Saint Trash and Vendilion Clique for more pressure. We're definitely the beatdown here. The three threats we have in the board are definitely for when we're the beatdown. Ghostly Prison, yep. Not that her ultimate really does anything now, since they have Ghostly Prison. I don't even really have that many great cards for this in my sideboard, because, like, again, just like there's kind of classic modern problems, right? Just like trying to be interactive in modern. Like, I was picking my counter spells for this deck, and I decided to play Dispel and Ceremonious Rejection instead of, you know, Negate or other counter spells that could be good against enchantments. So I've got, you know, 4 of my 5 counter spells are just like not gonna have relevant text boxes in this matchup, and just kind of how it goes. There's just such a wide selection of things that people play in Modern that when you're choosing to not just be as aggressive as possible, it just becomes incredibly difficult to, like, hope your interaction lines up with every possible thing you could play. All right, that's it's actually a hard lock against us game 1. Solemnity plus Phyrexian on life means you can't get poison counters, which means you can't lose the game. Alright, I get to bring in these, and this Disdainful Stroke, and this Collective Brutality. Now you get to cut these Fatal Pushes, and these Ritual of Soots. I guess, and the Last Hopes, they don't really do anything. I guess I'll bring in Dispel, because it stops Path to Exile, and, like, Path hitting my threats is, like, relevant. Would like my threats to be alive, ideally. Yep. The opponent's deck's also a Leyline of Sanctity deck, so, like, we have this hand full of, like, discard spells, and, like, there's a chance, like, their opponent could just, like, render it useless on turn 1. Turn 0, technically, before they start. Elspeth, Sun's Champion. That's a magic card. Alright, I'll take on life. Oh, no. Almost disaster there. Almost passed without playing a land for the turn. Sure. So let's snap Thoughtseize, probably take the Solemnity here. And then this Thoughtseize will clear out the Aetherling and Elspeth, Sun's Champion. What format am I playing? A wild one, that's what. Man, they came to play. That's... Yep. Definitely didn't have Aetherling in my playbook when I was thinking up what decks I wanted to beat with what we got going on here. I think I just take the Ghostly Prisoner and hope they don't get to 6 mana. I think the plan is hope they brick and die. Just gonna go ahead and Detention Sphere this Auramancy because I can't Detention Sphere any of their enchantments while Auramancy's out, so might as well use my mana this turn. Get my chip shots in here. If we hit the untapped land next turn for the Ojutai, that bodes really well for us. Alright. Hit the land at least. Land means that even if they hit a 5th land next turn, I can hopefully find a Thoughtseize or a Snapcaster Mage with Ojutai to then take the Elspeth out of their hand before they get to land number 6. Yep. Just gonna pay 4 and attack for 7 here, I think. So the fact that they're stuck with 2 uncastables here is really big for us. So it seems weird to shock this and then drain them, but I just want to get my 2 points of damage in. This actually gives us lethal for next turn, right? Because they're at 9, we attack them for 7, and then we shock them again. So they're dead here if they have nothing. It's nice when the Esper deck has reach. You're just like, and kill you. If they didn't have Leyline of Sanctity in their deck that game, they're definitely gonna have it. No, yeah, I don't think anything I saw really changes any of my plans. Just gonna hope to hit one of our threats quickly and pressure them out of the game like we did there. Mix in some discard spell. Hope for the best. Yeah, this hand's really good, actually. It's turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Thought Scour Tassafish, right? This is 1, 4, 3, 4. I guess I need a fetch land to play Tasigur on too. Actually, that's not true. No, that's not true. I'm good, right? Because I'm going to play this on 1. No, yeah, I think I need a fetch land. That's fine. We'll see. Turn 3 Tasigur, also okay. Like if our turn 2 is like Thoughtseize plus Thought Scour, that seems fine for us. Sure. Well, that's the type of hand we need them to have. If they are able to execute their game plan, things probably don't go well for us. If they go top here, I might Thought Scour them. They went top. Yeah, so like if I Thought Scour myself here, I can't play Tasigur this turn anyway, so I'm going to Thoughtseize, and then I'm going to Thought Scour them, and then I can still play Tasigur next turn. Yeah, good beats. So I think if I wouldn't have been able to play this turn, I probably wouldn't have Thought Scoured them. But since I could play this turn anyways, it seems like pretty reasonable to just get in there. They're one land off of this Aetherling, which I can now Disdainful Stroke, which is great for me. Let's go ahead and attack with Tasigur here. And then does playing Lingering Souls meaningfully add to my clock? It does, right? So we'll go ahead and do that. So they're at 16. They're gonna get, I'm gonna attack them to 10, and then I can flashback Lingering Souls. Sure, that doesn't matter. So I actually get to kill them next turn, right? So I put them to 10, Lingering Souls puts 8 power into play, and then I drain them with the Collective Brutality. So Supreme Verdict is what we're looking to dodge here. I guess Phyrexian on life is also something I need to dodge, technically speaking. But I don't think I'm supposed to click here. I think I'm supposed to, yeah, stroke this and then have them dead. Well, we only had one counterspell on the sideboard that could come into the matchup, but it was real good. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, checking out my video. My name is Jeff Hoagland. You're probably aware of that if you're on my YouTube channel, though. I just like to thank everyone for all their wonderful support. Remember, the reason why I'm able to do this as a job is because of all my wonderful subs and Prime subs and all that on Twitch. Something that a lot of people don't know is that I don't need to be live for you to subscribe to my channel. So if you're someone that primarily watches the YouTube stuff and you don't have a chance to catch me live, you can just go to twitch.tv/Jeff Hoagland and subscribe with Prime or with just normal dollary dues on any of the different tier levels there anytime at your leisure, whenever it works out for your schedule. I appreciate all the support from that. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's would like to help you get that nice, close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HoagleShave. You can save $5 on your shave kit with them. Cardsphere.com will have to help you turn your cards into other cards direct with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website, including my own Hoaglandia branded merchandise you can find up there. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Thanks for spending part of your day here with us. There's a lot of great and awesome Magic content out there on the internet, and I appreciate you hanging out and checking out mine. We're 1-1 with Esper Ojutai here, heading on into our third match. Let's see how it goes. Sure, yeah. This hand has all of our colors. There's plenty of interaction. Hopefully this is a matchup where these cards have text. Again, just like, you know, sometimes you play these interactive decks in Modern and you just have to hope that your things line up. Like, this hand is never a mulligan in a million years, but like, this hand could realistically be a mulligan to 5 just because these cards don't do anything. Hopefully they're playing something like Spirits or Humans where like these cards are going to be really good. And we're probably in a great spot, but we'll see. We'll get to get what the lowdown is here very soon when we get to go Darkslick Shores, Inquisition of Kozilek. Okay, so looks like the Phoenix deck, but still playing Bedlam Reveler. So one of the innovations that Ross Merriam had with the Phoenix deck was that he cut the Bedlam Reveler for Crackling Drakes, basically, to smooth things out a little bit. Lightning Bolt doesn't really have a text box against us, so I don't really care about that. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Serum Visions here. It's like take Lightning Bolt or take one of 5 cantrips. So I guess I'll take one of the 5 cantrips. Not a lot of excitement there. Yeah, maybe my stance on putting the Fatal Push in the main deck of this was wrong, and I should have just like played 4 Path to Exile's main. It's another matchup where Push is just like pretty mediocre and Path is great. Path is just easily the best removal spell in Modern. It's just so potent and flexible. Just like unconditional exile your thing is quite strong. Minamo, School at Water's Edge here, our utility land that can untap Ojutai to give it hexproof again after it is attacked. Quite powerful and resilient. Let's see, Thought Scour in response here, I assume. Discarded Looting, Manamorphose. I'm actually going to go ahead and take their Faithless Looting away here since they drew another Bedlam Reveler. Faithless Looting gives them the best possible chance at a second land drop on 2, so taking that away potentially denies them that. And, like, while this card's going to be good against Phoenix, like, again, like, we've kind of mulliganed to 5 here, right? Like, I haven't drawn a spell yet. I'm going to leave this Marsh Flats uncracked because triggering Revolt for Fatal Push is potentially important if my opponent finds a Phoenix or some other 3 or 4 mana creature. But it went top, bottom there. Alright, creepy boy. Probably fetching at their end of turn now, so I can just start attacking with this. Although I guess they have Lightning Bolt in their hand, theoretically, so I'm not attacking. Wait, did they keep a card on top and then not hit a land? Is it like what could they possibly have kept? I'm so confused. So they're definitely binning a Bedlam Reveler here. There's no need for 2 of those in their hand. Been an Arclake Phoenix as well. Hit the second land drop. So their hand now is Bedlam, Bolt, Is It Charm, and 3 cards I don't know. Really looking for an Ojutai. Looking for an Ojutai or a Tasigur, or even a Lingering Soul. Just looking for a way to pressure the opponent. Alright, I mean, that's like pseudo pressure, right? Like, it's not amazing, but it like eventually puts the onus on them to do something. If I crack the fetch land and put 2 Fatal Pushes together, can they, with their powers combined, can they kill Bedlam Reveler? Oh wait, this only costs 2, right? I don't even need Revolt to kill it. Wonder if we'll see double Bolt here, kill Last Hope. She's not ulting for a very long time with the single bolt in hand. So this is the Thought Scour turn, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is a play 3 spells, get their Phoenix back turn. Thing in the ice, sure. I think I'm actually going to hold these Fatal Pushes and just Ritualist at this. Can't play the Tasigur this turn, but that's fine. They do have Bolt plus Is It Charm, so like even if I played the Tasigur this turn, there's a chance my opponent just like spends 2 things killing it. God, we actually be in a pretty good spot here if these Fatal Pushes were Path to Exiles, right? Like I'd have a removal spell for this and I'd have a removal spell for this. I guess they'd have cards in their hand still, but I'd be in a pretty like reasonable spot as opposed to a mediocre spot that I am right now. Alright, they keep giving me Fatal Push targets though, so I've got that going for us. Knock it off the edge of the building here. I am going to get to potentially play this Tasigur and activate it in the same turn, which is nice. Are they spell piercing me? Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. That is, that's what we wanted for Christmas, chat. That is exactly what we wanted for Christmas. So, the question you want to ask yourself when you're delving with your Tasigur is which of the spells in your discard pile do you want to get back? Am I okay getting Inquisition back here? Am I okay getting Inquisition back here? I don't think I am. I think I'd rather have a random. So I'm going to leave the land in here and just delve all 5 spells. Alright, we've put a quick clock into play here. And especially with the Minamo school at Water's Edge, they're probably going to have a real hard time beating this Dragonlord Ojutai. I assume we're going to see the Phoenix come back into play this turn, so that potentially fogs the Ojutai for a hot second here. Like if they have Bolt, and like a cantrip into Bedlam River, bring back the Phoenix, that seems potentially very good for them. Wow, this is a good turn for them. So we're gonna have a good turn, but they're having a pretty. We had a good turn, but they're having a pretty fantastic one as well. So they're getting to Axe the Tasigur, Fiery Temper that. Is their last card a Red Source? If they have like Red Source Bedlam Reveler, we're probably dead. So we know they have Bedlam Reveler in their hand. I assume this is staying at home. God, that was a good draw. Bye, friend. Okay, it's a good line. This is, you may exile, so I'm going to say no. I would like to keep my Dragonlord Ojutai. Really want Ojutai to find a Thoughtseize here, so I can take their Bedlam and just shut them down. Fatal Push, search for Azcanta. I think I just take search for Azcanta here, right? No, that's probably not true. I think I want the Fatal Push. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. They discarded Thing in the Ice. That makes sense. So if they fail to bring back Phoenix this turn, that's really good for us. We get to get another hit in with Ojutai. If they get to bring back the Phoenix, then the Ojutai is going to get stonewalled, which kind of sucks. They need a land plus another 1-mana spell. I guess they could just have Gutshot here too. A lot of these decks play like somewhere between 0 and 3 Gutshot in the main. Although the blue-red builds tend to play less Gutshots than the mono-red builds. A lot of the mono-red builds were on 3 Gutshot. No Gutshot. No Gutshot, no Phoenix, no problem. Look at that. Just super rewarded for taking the Fatal Push. Again, wouldn't mind a discard spell here. Collective Brutality. Huh. Brutality is an interesting one. So I think I actually don't play the Brutality here because Brutality can kill a Phoenix next turn, which is ideal. So that way Ojutai can get in for potentially lethal. Like, I can kill a Phoenix plus drain them for 2. They're looking for more Phoenixes here, and like they're 34 cards into their deck, so like they're pretty likely to find another Phoenix here. If they put 3 Phoenixes into play this turn, I'm probably dead. They only discarded 1 more. They only have 2 cards in their hand, so they need both their remaining cards to be instants or sorceries. Fetching to 6 here, too, means this creepy boy is like lethal into as well, which is good for us. Manamorphose, smells like it. Is it Charm? Draw 2, discard. Sure. So they're going to be almost out of cards. This digs them to another Arclight Phoenix, though, too, here. So this gives them another shot to find a 3rd Phoenix. Only 21 cards left in their deck. So would not be super surprised if they found it. They have not found it. They have the 1-mana spell. This is a Faithless Looting. They get 2 more shots at a 3rd bird. Just Lightning Bolt, sure. So 2 birds are coming back. I'm taking 6 down to 10 here. Fetch land is lethal. Is that true? No, it's not actually. Yeah, again, just like this Fatal Push, just like looking like rancid dog poop next to what could have been a. I get a couple of looks here. I forgot about this. Do I want a Tasigur? I do not. Watery Grave. That doesn't really help me. Oh, so they have no cards in hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill a bird and drain them. So I need to not die from 12. They could definitely kill us from 12 this turn. If they hit a string of cantrips, we could die. Do they have Faithless Lootings in here? They have a Faithless Looting in here. So like, oh gosh. So I'd have definitely won this game if this Fatal Push had been Path's Exile, or if I would have found a fetch land. So something that triggered Revolt that last turn would have let us kill them. No, that's not true. Because then I wouldn't have been able to drain with Brutality. I would have hit with the Ojutai, though, which would have given me more lines. So their hand has to be, like, exceptionally bad here to not kill us. Yeah, any spell is lethal at this point. It flips 2 Phoenixes into play and prowesses the Bedlam Reveler up to a 6/7. That was close. Definitely lost that game because of my choice of removal spells. Bedlam Reveler was a tough nut there. Worth noting, like, Bedlam Reveler was better than Crackling Drake would have been for my opponent. If my opponent had just been playing with Crackling Drakes, we probably would have run them over. Last Hope's not very good here. Do I want Clique or Geist to Saint Traft in this matchup? I feel like Clique might not be terrible. Collective Brutality doesn't accomplish a whole lot. I don't think this is a Dispel matchup. Let's try this. Having more pressure seems good. Also like blocks in a pinch. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. This hand is fine. Do-do-do-do-do-do. So if I search on 2 and then bin whatever card it sees on 3, I can Tasigur on 3, which is like pretty reasonable. Pretty not bad, JPG. I just like haven't had a problem getting white any of these games. D-Sphere is pretty good. Worth noting too that like my opponent's clutch line last game of bolting their own Arclight Phoenix definitely ended up winning them the game. They hadn't bolted their own Phoenix, they let it exile to the Detention Sphere. The Ojutai would have overpowered them in the air with the removal spells that I had. So I wonder if they leave Bolton against me. If they have Bolt in their deck this game, I'll probably cut the Cliques for game 3. Just like giving them a threat that Bolt kills is kind of poop. No, I'm actually gonna keep that. It means I can't Tasigur this turn, but I can click this turn, which is like similar. So I'm going to respond to this Faithless Looting with Vendilion Clique. Try and take an Arclight out of their hand. It's possible I should just like let it happen and then D-Sphere or Path whatever birds come into play, but means I have to take a hit on my health total, which isn't ideal. Yeah, they left Bolt in their deck, which kind of feels bad. They have Dispel is good to know about. Dispel is a card that felt really incredibly awkward with the Bedlam Reveler build when we played it. Just like this card that like you like don't want to fire it off. It makes you like basically not want to play your Bedlam Reveler. They found another Arclight Phoenix. Good beats. Looking for lands. Wonder if we'll see my opponent run back the old bolt through an Arclight here. I'm going to play the Detention Sphere rather than the Path to Exile because I know my opponent has a Dispel in their hand. Yep. Yeah, I like that line out of them. It's a little bit awkward that, like, regardless of what we decided to do there, we were kind of getting countered. So, looking for an untapped land again next turn. So we can play this Dragonlord out. I drew Manamorphose. Woof. They have Izzet Charm here, too, to get their loot on. So they're going to get to guaranteed get this Phoenix back. I guess not guaranteed. They could technically have a bunch of bricks since they cast the Lightning Bolt already. It's pretty likely that this bird's coming back into play, though. Phoenix deck is really strong. If you haven't had a chance to watch the League that Ross Merriam and I played together while I was at his apartment on Monday in Roanoke, you definitely want to check that out. It's on the YouTube channel like everything else. Deck is incredibly consistent and powerful. A little bit different than what the opponent's doing, but a lot of parallels as well. Feels a lot like a Legacy deck in a lot of ways. Like, obviously the cantrips are much worse in it, but you just have so many cards that draw more cards that your deck does pretty much the same thing every game. So they use the Izzet Charm, they have a Dispel, and then 3 cards I don't know. If we hit the land, this Dragonlord Ojutai, like, Stonewall's a 3/2 flyer, which is nice. Perfect. Down to 9 here. It's a little bit scary to go to 9 against the build that the opponent's playing. The build we played did not have Fiery Temper in it, and Fiery Temper definitely gives the deck a little bit more of an aggressive slant than it otherwise would have. Dragonlord Ojutai gets to block Arclight Phoenix pretty freely here, because it has Hexproof while it's untapped, so we don't have to worry about it just like getting bolted, which is nice. Yep. Start by Fatal Pushing this. If they Dispel this Fatal Push, I'm going to path the Arclight Phoenix, and then hopefully Dragonlord Ojutai finds another removal spell here to get rid of the thing in the ice. It's possible the way I've tapped my lands is incorrect. Like, if I find another Path to Exile, I can't cast it now. And I really don't need to leave a blue source up, so yeah, I guess I should have tapped, like, Watery Grave plus Plains to cast these 2 spells here, as opposed to the 2 lands that I did. It's like, if I find a path now, I'm not going to be able to kill this thing and I otherwise could have. Like, there's a good chance they flip it over next turn, too, because there just has so many spells in it. Sweet. Found a Fatal Push. Thank goodness this is a no justice stream. I guess I could get into trouble with Lightning Axe here. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. They showed us they have Lightning Axe. Obviously, we didn't get punished for it there, because again, there's no justice in the world, but definitely should not have Minamo'd my Dragonlord there. I am at 6. Well, that's terrifying. Just, like, bolt you into Bedlam Reveler. Draw the next bolt, kill you. Why do I open my mouth, chat? Why do I open my mouth? I open my mouth and the words fall out. It's not ideal. Yeah. Yep. All right. Woof. I believe we are dead. I had to look at a lot of cards this turn, but they have 3 cards in hand. I'm at 3. There's 2 Arclight Phoenixes in their bin. guess I take Snapcaster Mage here. I untap this. I guess I can Snap Path here. So I can Tasigur, block a Bedlam, Snapcaster, block a Bedlam, Path a Phoenix, and then Ojutai block the other Phoenix. So we're dead to a third Phoenix or a Bolt or a Fiery Temper, but I'm not dead on board. So kill me, I guess. Yep. Say like 6 more looks at a third Phoenix here. They get 3 with this, and then they get to cast Faithless Looting and get 2 more, so it's 5 more looks. Also looks at Lightning Bolt and Fiery Temper, obviously. Opponents played the sequencing on their deck very well this match. Their deck has a lot of little micro decisions in it, and they've made a lot of good ones. This gives them even more looks here. Like the Faithless Looting from the hand as opposed to Faithless Looting from the bin, because it gives them more chances to hit things like Fiery Temper and Lightning Bolt. Great, like we said, dead to anything, but you know, the merit of playing around things. Just hope they don't have them. It's really unfortunate that if they don't have it, we're 1 off. If is a charm. That is the thing that we cannot beat. Yeah, good games, opponent. Man, that first game slipped away from us. I definitely lost the first game in that match because I chose to play Fatal Push instead of Path to Exile in my main deck. If we'd have had Path to Exile, we'd have definitely won the first game of that match. Like, there's no guarantee we win the match, but again, just like things to think about when you're talking about possible optimizations and small choices. And I just like one of the reasons why Path is just such a good removal spell in Modern is that you don't get that wrong half problem as often with it, right? Like, it's a card that just like is pretty unconditional, so any deck with creatures in it, Path to Exile is going to be somewhat live against, whereas like Fatal Push has issues like it did in that match where just like not always live. Seems fine. Needs some more lands, but it's like a reasonable start. Deck's got a lot of lands in it, which I'm sure means we're never going to draw another, but, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Okie doke. I'm going to take the Eidolon of the Great Revel here. They're going to play Swift Spear. We'll escalate this Brutality, probably ditching Last Hope and Detention Sphere, depending on what we draw for the turn, obviously. Would really like to just run off lands and just, like, curve into this Ojutai. So I'll draw lands for the next 3 turns. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and take Boros Charm here. Gains us the most. You know what? I'll take it. Not gonna complain. I'll take it. Just don't look a gift horse in the mouth, chat. Just don't do it. Just be like, yeah, our leftovers were really good. You definitely needed to concede there. Strong plays. Is this a matchup that I want Path to Exile in? I don't know. Maybe at least one of them. Search and Thoughtseize are both a little bit medium. Oh, I definitely want my Foul-Tongue Invocation. There's one of these for cutesiness, because it gains 4 in matches like this. 2 Detention Sphere is probably clunky. Let's give this a try. Okay. Hand's pretty good. It's got a fast Tasigur, it's got Fatal Push, it's got Collective Brutality. That is the perfect draw. Just a land that doesn't hurt me, God bless. Keep them coming. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yep. Come at me. Come at me, Taylor. We have Vendilion Clique here as well to clear out a Skull Crack before we play this Collective Brutality to gain a little bit of life. Which is great. Good draw. So I'm actually going to go ahead and play the Clique now. And the reason for the sequencing is this way if they have a Searing Blaze, they won't be able, I'll be able to take it before they can do 3 damage to kill this and me with it. So this sequencing here is because I'm trying to play around land Searing Blaze. So this way if they want to blaze this, they're going to need to... It's aggressive. They have nothing. Bolt, Roof Bolt. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to take one of those, right? Like, their average card is probably worse than those on average. Just, like, anything to make them see potentially more lands. Sure. So I'm going to play Minamo. I'm going to kill, drain, discard this, which then lets me play Tasigur this turn. So this is good, clean live in. I wonder if this deck actually just wants to be like more Esper tempo style. It's like play some more Delve Threats maybe. Just play a couple of Dragonlord at the top end. Yeah, you kill my creature. You can always spot the exact moment where the burn deck started losing because they start pointing their burn spells at your creatures. I'm gonna draw a card with this Tasigur this turn. Barring an ensnaring bridge, we should be in a pretty good spot here. Oh, that's scary. They have Searing Blaze here. Or they just don't know how their magic card works. Okay. Or they have Searing Blaze and just wanted to play around a potential counterspell. Seems loose. Nope, just didn't know how their magic card worked. Got it. Lingering Souls, Vendilion Clique, deal. Really? Okay. Draw step Clique here. And then, they're actually dead next turn, right? Clique plus Tasigur plus tokens is 9, and this is 12. Yes, they're actually just dead. They should have kept that in their hand to give me the chance to take it away. So that way they wouldn't just be dead on board. All right, 2 and 2. See if we can slip on in and be a real modern deck here or not. Slow and steady. Thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate it. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, to hit that like button, ring that bell, and drop a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about these YouTube exclusive videos. They're a little bit more focused than my normal streams. I'm very interactive when we stream, so there's a lot of chat questions going on and back and forth. It's very similar. It's not quite the same as playing Paper Magic, but when I'm playing without streaming, I often describe it. It's just quiet, right? Like, it's just me and the magic. And obviously here I'm articulating my thoughts out loud still, but there's not, you know, the scrolling box of people screaming at me, which is nice. All right, on the draw for the 5th one here. The Field of Rune is a smidge awkward, but, like, our hand is very good, right? Like, I've got 5 castable spells, even if I don't draw another land on time. Mulligan. We are on the draw, which, well, you know, being on the draw is not stellar in Modern. It does mean we have a better chance to, like, hit a second land on 2. A mulligan to 5. We're about to play a Bogle. That's a Bogle. Yep. Great. Let's get that one right out of there. Some draw a card whenever it hits us. That's terrifying. Things that are not okay. That. Okay, I milled a Ritual of Soot, which, along with the Snapcaster Mage, could eventually address the Bogle in the room. I almost put an Engineered Explosives in my sideboard, and then I decided against it at the last minute. That's sweet. Gives us some fogs. Actually, they don't draw an enchantment for a hot second here. Flashing that back next turn could just mean I could threaten to trade with this in combat, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and Thoughtseize and try and take their path to exile here. Because if they path me, I'm okay with that. Because it, like, ramps me into being able to cast my, ramps me into being able to snap back the Soot. Yeah, because, like, actually, like, they have no hand here, but I get to, like, play this tapped and pass now instead of flashing back Lingering Souls. I'll chump block, and then I'm going to untap and snap Soot and kill their Bogle. So you just need to, like, dodge out a number this turn. Hopefully they play another Bogle out here. Would just be the perfects. It would be ideal. Alright, Snapcaster Mage, sometimes you gotta take one for the team, buddy. We appreciate you, Snappy Boy. We appreciate you. Perform the ritual. And, like, we're not out of it just yet. I mean, they're not out of it just yet. Like, they could just, like, draw more things, but we need to find a threat here ASAP, obviously. I'm gonna Field of Rune the crap out of this Dryad Arbor. Save my my Fatal Push in case they draw a Core Spirit Dancer. Alright, put my 9-turn clock into play. Your move, Yugi boy, this is all I got. So looking for Tasigur, Ojutai, even Snapcaster Mage at this point would be fine because I have a Thought Scour I could snap back. Probably going to hold on to this Collective Brutality until I draw a threat because my opponents show me they have Path to Exile in their main deck. So I'd like to be able to spot check through that. I am going to go ahead and play the Inquisition here, and the reason why I'm playing the Inquisition proactively like this is because if my opponent has enchantments in their hand and then draws a creature, I don't want them to have 2 critical massive enchantments for when their creature draws eventually. Shambling Vent is great. Speeds up our clock a good deal and also buffers our health total a little bit here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take Peekaboo at their hand. Again, looking for a path to exile. Spider Umbra, sure. So I'm going to go ahead and cast this Tasigur, delving ideally every spell except Snapcaster Mage here. I guess I'll keep Thought Scour. Yeah, Thought Scour, Snapcaster. So fire up Shambles here. It's a concession lockup. Yeah. All right, let's do that one more time here, which is get lucky. And by get lucky, I mean let's draw one copy of Foul-Tongue Invocation. I almost put a second Foul-Tongue in here. I almost had a second Foul-Tongue in here too. And I wimped out at the last minute. And I had two Foul-Tongues in the board, and I was like, nah, there's only 3 dragons. I'm not going to gain health with it enough for it to be relevant. I'm going to bring in the Path to Exiles over the Fatal Pushes. While ramping the opponent feels kind of bad, having the ability to interact with Core Spirit Dancer while it has an Umbra on it is pretty important. Vendilion Clique can fly over to pressure our opponent a lot of the time. I'm not going to bring in Geist to St. Traft. It's just going to get stonewalled on the ground a significant portion of the time. I don't have any negates in my sideboard, unfortunately, so that's not an option for us. Discard spell plus Detention Sphere, I think, is one of just our better opening hands here, so I'm definitely going to keep this. The opponent's deck does play a bunch of Liliana Sanctities, so like there's a chance this discard spell just won't have text. But it is what it is. No, Liliana is great for us. Bogle me, baby. I'm going to go ahead and shock this in on 1. So that way next turn I can go Creeping Tar Pit tapped plus Thought Scour myself. Potentially. Rancor is scarier, but Umbra is what prevents me from killing their Bogle should I draw a copy of Sunpetal Grove. That seems really terrible in their deck that often keeps one-landers. Okay, double Rancor is like not great for our health total, but from a Detention Sphere in our hand standpoint, it's not the Stone Cold worst. All right, so just really want to draw a White Source next turn, or a Foul-Tongue Invocation, one of the two. White Source or Foul-Tongue, either will do. All right, going to 6. And then, depending on how good the enchantments they draw are, we could end up in an okay spot here. Because we have Lingering Souls to block this flying thing. I'm gonna pass. If they draw an enchantment that makes it beat this Vendilion Clique, I feel bad, but hopefully they just attack here. I click a path out of my own hand and trade. So never forget you can click yourself. I don't need 2 paths. Like, you need them in your deck because you don't want to get buried by silly things, and the reason why I'm using the click here as opposed to just casting Lingering Souls on my turn is if I cast Lingering Souls, it's obvious I'm going to kill their thing, and then they're just not going to attack with it. Whereas this way, they're likely to attack in. All right, so I'm going to Thought Scour, and then I think I would actually rather get Search for Azcanta going here than play the Lingering Souls this turn, because Search for Azcanta is going to give me the ability to dig to a Ritual of Soot to find an answer to their thing should they draw another one. Just want to like give myself the best possible chance to find an answer to Bogles. That's unfortunate. This still has a text box, right? It still provides card selection. Do I shock and play this other Lingering Souls? I think so. like get my pressure into play. Want to give them the least amount of chances to draw their stuff. Playing the second Lingering Souls is bad if they draw a thing and then if they draw a thing and I draw a Ritual of Soot. Guess I should technically do that during their upkeep. All right, how many spirits am I leaving back here? I think 2. If I attack with 3, it's a 3-turn clock. Yeah, I'm gonna attack with 3, so it's a 3-turn clock. You want to path during the upkeep because that way the opponent's land that they're getting from the path to exile stays tapped for the turn. They definitely have series of enchantments that can kill us here, but hopefully they're just gonna like draw rest in pieces and lands for the rest of the game. We'll just kill them in 2 more attack steps. They'd have drawn the rest in peace 1 turn later, and we'd have gotten to flip the search for Azcanta. It would have been incredible for us. Deal. Sweet. They have Stone Cold nothing. Alright, they should just be dead here. I guess Rancor could get us. That's a fantastic draw. That means we are not dead to Rancor. So I'm gonna attack with everything. Does leaving an extra spirit back play around anything? It doesn't, right? Like just Rancor is the only thing that gives trample. All right, and we finished with a 3-2 here. And I think parts of this were definitely my fault. The biggest thing, like, it's funny, it's really funny that I, like, talked about at the beginning of the league why I was making the conscious decision to play the Fatal Push to the main and not listen to Past Jeff. But man, that Past Jeff, he's so annoyingly right so much of the time. So yeah, so like looking at what we did here, I think if I were to play this again and make some changes before I did, I think Past Jeff's probably a pretty smart dude. And I think I want to give the Ritual of Soot another chance, but I definitely want to start by putting all of these Path to Exiles in the main, just like max on these and do 4. And I think I'd only want like 2 Fatal Push in the sideboard. As far as the last board slot, like these colors have a lot of different tools in them that you have access to. So there's a lot of different directions you could take this deck in depending on which matches you want to hedge. Like we talked about in the match against the blue-white enchantments deck, like I'm choosing to play Dispel and Rejection and Stroke in my 5 counterspell slots. You could play negates. You could play, you know, Flash Freeze. There's a lot of different narrow counterspells that are like better in different spots and worse in others. There's also a possibility where you can make this deck a little bit more mid-rangey. There's a chance that like 3 Ojutai is too many in the main deck. I wanted to start with 3 though, so that way I could have a chance to draw it. Ojutai was very good in a number of the games that we drew it. Just like, it's a card that closes the game very quickly and generates card advantage while doing so. It's a card that buries the opponent while it's ending the game, so that way, as it's closing, you have less of a chance of the game slipping away from you, which is nice. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to do that on YouTube, ring that bell for notifications on when I go live and with what, when I upload new videos, all that jazz. You can also follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/JeffHogan. I post when I go live on Twitch. I'm also tweeting when I post new YouTube exclusive like this. And as always, feedback on the format. And if you want to see your deck played on my channel here at some point in the future, be sure to check out bit.ly/HoogleSellout or just jeffhoagland.com. And thanks for watching, folks. Hopefully catch all y'all around soon. Have a good one.